Curtis Snell. Denise Taylor. Here. David Thornton. Victoria Vasquez. David Walkingstick. Brian Warner. We do have a quorum.
Thank you. I'd like to ask for approval of the minutes.
Make a motion they be approved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Approved. Barbara Foreman.
Good afternoon, Council.
Hello.
Okay, you have our report. If you have any questions on that, I have a few announcements after that.
Any questions? Yes, ma'am. Go
I
ahead.
have one question, and this year was the first year you did online applications for Angel Tree. Have you gotten any feedback on how that worked or anything from
Well, the Angel Tree project would be under ICW.
ICW? Excuse me.
Under Nikki.
Well, has anybody talked to you about it? Okay. Sorry about that. You're right. I'll ask that later.
Anyone else? Hartley? Then one.
Who's handling burial systems since Jerry Neal is gone?
Jennifer Kirby is our interim.
Okay.
And Wanda?
Okay, I always just like to look at stats with children and our youth. And at the Youth Services and Special Projects, at the John A. Ketcher Youth Services Center, young people serve 9, admissions 3. Hey, why, is that a low number because is there a limit, or do we just have a minimum, or is that something I could ask, maybe? It says Director Jennifer Kirby. Would that be something
Well, I can say that it's just the children that are referred in or brought in to us.
Okay.
I'm sure there is a limit. I'm
Yeah.
not sure what the capacity is
Yes.
for the facility, but yes, we could serve more there.
Where are the?
But sometimes,
sorry.
like the state brings the kids in to stay there for a few days. It's just different places.
Are they referred from DHS? Is that what they're, is that where they're?
Sometimes they do have to bring them there.
What about Cherokee, like our tribe? Schools? How about schools? Do they,
It just depends on the situation.
situation? Usually, does it have to go through the court system?
Yes, some of them are.
I just find that's such a low number. Seems like we could be doing a lot more in that area. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Barb, how are you guys late? Sorry about that, Barb. But did somebody ask you about the people who didn't make the coat voucher? You don't know if you got a clothing voucher, you qualified for a coat.
Yes.
All right. Well, one question is, what if they missed this deadline or missed the dates that they could go get their coat? Can they go get one somewhere?
Okay, we have 2 days left on that.
2 days
And
left.
today at Tahlequah, and then tomorrow at Salisaw.
Now that's if they qualified for a clothing voucher.
Because if they receive the clothing voucher, they will receive a coat voucher.
Now, how about the people that need a coat that didn't get the clothing voucher? Is it,
On those, we'd probably just have to look at that on an individual basis and
Just send them-
maybe just
when they
refer
contact
them.
me, just kind of individual?
Yes, just refer them to one of our offices to Tahlequah.
Sounds, thank you, Barb. Thank you. Oh. Was there anything else brought up about maybe switching to Walmart on these vouchers? Did that go anywhere, Barb?
Yes, we have been looking into that. Brought my little sheet. My understanding is one of our councilmen has been in contact with Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
We have contacted Walmart actually this morning and talked with them on what they could offer to the nation. And so we're kind of just gathering information right now. And I'm sure that it will probably come back to the council to see all the
Kind
information.
of weigh both.
And- Yes, yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Clerk.
I have another question. There was, and I'm sorry, I didn't have it in front of me. I had in my other notes, I think about, there was something in Nowata about, there was a meeting, you had 2 meetings there, or it was something to do with, like a family survey. Does that ring? Am I just making this up? I'm not making this up. But there was some, and it's like, was it for one of your programs possibly? You don't know if anybody going to Nowata? I just read it someplace and it was like maybe a family. And I thought maybe it had something to do with your program that
We're really busy in
And
our
the
department,
fathers-
so
getting the fathers involved, you know, that program. I'm not sure what it is, but you're not aware of that? Because I read that somewhere. I didn't dream
no.
of it.
Was it in this report or? No, but.
I just read it recently, but there was,
If,
and it was something to do, it was like a survey or something. Is that, no? Family survey?
Well, sometimes we do surveys to get the information, you know, when we're applying for grants.
Mhm.
So it could have been.
It could have been for
but
that,
we-
okay.
You know, we've got people all over the 14 counties
Yeah, right.
running
But
and
this was in
gunning. So,
Nowata. It was some community
but if you
building.
can think of it, I'd be glad to
Okay, all right.
research that for you.
Okay. I'll get in contact with you. Thank
Okay.
you. I thought I had it with me, and I was just trying to think at the top of my head. Thank you, Barbara.
I'll be glad to help you with that. Me?
Okay, and you had some announcements, you
Yes.
said? Yeah.
Okay, one was the Coke vouchers would be Tahlequah and Sallisaw. And that's from 10 to 6 on both days. And that will end our program for this year. Currently, we have light heat going on for the elders that are 60 and the disabled, and that's the disabled that are receiving disability income. We will start another program with LIHEAP December 1st for all categories. And we have our Elder Angel Tree at Human Services, and we still have, and they just put it out, but we have 131 elders that need to be adopted on our wall at Human Services. So pass the word on for us. It's you just go to Human Services, and right there on the wall, you'll see all the little angels all on that wall. And you just pick one of those up and go to the receptionist and let them know that you have taken that one, because we like to keep track of it. And also, just a little bit about Cherokee First. We have already served 346 with applications through Cherokee First. So we're really going strong with that. Also, the new burial contracts came into effect on November 1st. And so now we will be, we have upped the limit for what we used to pay. We used to pay the $3,000, and now it's $3,600 with the contracts. Any other questions?
Victoria had one.
Yes, regarding the angel tree down here, what is the deadline to return the gifts?
It is there. December 2nd.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You'll make one comment.
Yes, sir.
Yes, 131 elders still had been taken care of.
They just put it out recently, though, Joe.
Well, give us an update in about 2 weeks.
Okay.
We may have to amend the budget. I mean, that's not.
Well, I know people have been really good, though, in the past to do it, and also you, council, have helped us in the past, too.
Yeah.
So, and we appreciate anyone.
What would be helpful if you kind of let us know by district? I know that's not how we have to do it, but, you know, you say, hey, Joe, you got 20 in your district that's still hanging there. I mean, at least if you could communicate, that would be helpful.
Okay, because we could get the information for you.
Oh, it'd be helpful.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair.
You get information from me forward on Jerry'sville?
I had 2 hands up. I don't know who I had first. Sean?
Oh, thank you.
I think it was
Oh.
you.
Barb, tomorrow at Salisaw,
Mm-hmm.
10 o'clock to 6.
10 to 6.
At,
I had to get back with you on that.
Just
See,
look
you
around.
stumped me. I don't know that one.
yeah, and
I'll
Last-
send you an email on that, or a text.
just go to Salisaw, somebody tell you.
Yeah.
Now, last year I passed out like to the elders for, we were calling it like a Christmas gift. Is that the same thing as the elder tree or is that different?
Did you get those gifts from Human Services?
Well, I just had a stack and said the elders get a Christmas gift, start passing them out. And some of them gave them back to me and they got a gift. But is that how
It just depends on
is
if
that
it
how the
came from
angel
Human
tree works?
Services. That's our angel tree. We usually have our staff and managers and all
Okay.
delivering those.
Delivering the papers,
No, delivering
the gifts.
the gifts, because the papers, the angels have kind of what they want on them, listed on them.
Okay.
And so you bring the gifts back to Human Services, and then we take the gifts out to the families, well, to the elders.
You don't know any other thing where they got Christmas gifts, right? Probably the elder tree, wasn't it? The angel tree.
No, that's because that's the program I'm talking about.
Well,
Unless that, unless some of our staff have given to you to deliver,
Nikki,
I'm not sure.
That wasn't through you guys, was
No,
it?
that-
Because there was a piece of paper that I gave these elders. They filled out what they wanted. And they're wanting it again.
It wouldn't have
That's
been.
why I'm asking.
We do have something like that for parents to fill out, give us ideas for what they think their children need and want, so it could be right.
All right, well,
But it's not elders.
okay. Thank you. Thank you. I'll do some
I've
research.
got Harley and then I've got Victoria.
Barbara, this 3,600 for borough, that went up from 3,000? And then, did we get extra money, or did you just take what money we had and did it?
No, we did a waiver with the Bureau, with the BIA, to up that amount.
They okayed it, but we still get, okay, so, okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay, back on the angel gifts, I hate to just beat this dead horse, but for those of us that live 100 miles away, and I don't get back here until the middle of December, and if I really wanted to donate to that, is it possible for me to give you a check and you pick an angel and you go buy the gift and you give it to them? Or not? If not, I won't bother, but I'd like to help, but I just can't be back in Tahlequah by the December 2nd.
Well, we have some staff that's over that program, so I'm
Just
not.
let me know if you think I could leave a check.
Let me double check on that.
Or I can
I
check with
don't want to say that I can take the check
Right,
personally, but
You got all
but
the time in the world,
Human
right?
Services. But we would be glad to try to do that.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
You're welcome. Anyone else? Good report.
Thank you,
Barbara.
Counselor.
Who's Ron Qualls today? Musical chairs.
Look like it more and more.
I heard that. Good afternoon, Mr. Chair. Mr. Qualls is out on travel today, and so I'm sitting in on his behalf, and I think you have a copy of the report, and try to answer any questions. If not, I'll take them back and get you an answer.
Any questions?
I have a comment.
Okay.
Could I make it?
We'll take the call.
There was a situation, something that could have been a potential situation, and Debbie was communicating with the county commissioner, and she was kind enough to loop me in on that. Sometimes we are blindsided by things, and I told her I appreciated her looping me in, but I want you to know too that I appreciate when there's something that could become a problem, looping me in on it and letting me know so that I can be prepared.
Definitely. She let me know that, and yes, we appreciate the comment. I will relay it again.
Okay, thank you.
Good job.
All right, I'll be back up in a second, or you want to do it now?
Why don't you just keep going? Yeah.
Okay.
Efficient that way.
All right, sounds good. Just a quick update. Again, you have our report in your packet as well. Just a quick update on some projects. The Grace Hudlin Road here in Cherokee County, we do have our environmental document approved. We should be beginning right-of-way acquisition very soon. Once right-of-way is completed, we'll be follow that up by moving some utilities and then ultimately construction. There's right-of-way just required around some drainage structures that's going to be replaced, and they're going to be sized up to accommodate the drainage in those areas. So we're not talking a tremendous amount of right-of-way, and we expect it to go fairly quickly. Northeast Fort Gibson project between Muskogee and Cherokee County. We're in the process of finalizing our American Burrowing Beetle credit purchase. Once that credit purchase is finalized and signed off on, we'll pay the money into the Conservation Bank, and they'll issue us I think it's called a take permit, which will allow us to start the construction on that project. I've got several utility companies that are ready to go and get moving. So once those utilities relocated, then we'll get that thing out to construction. 10 Killer School Road here in southern Cherokee County. Things are progressing out there fairly quick like this week. I think they've got a lot of crew members on site this week and a lot of things happening out there. So we expect good things to come out of that. That project is behind. I've mentioned that in other reports, but things are moving along on it. Leech Kenwood Road in Delaware County. That project is similar to the Grace Hudlin Road. There's some drainage structures that are being replaced. Some are being relocated on some new alignments, but drainage structures being replaced. Once those are replaced, and we'll come in and do an overlay on that entire stretch of road. And then lastly, I want to mention the Whitewater Creek Bridge. It's on the old Stanwady Road project in Delaware County, just outside of Grove, south of Grove. That bridge has been shut down since last December when we had all the floods, and it's been a long time coming. I know it's been an inconvenience for the residents. I've had some phone calls here, but that project is soon to be underway. We've got a pre-construction meeting on that tomorrow morning in Tulsa, and the contractor's been selected and is ready to go. It's just a matter of holding the pre-construction meeting, and when we should have a better idea of when they anticipate starting construction. But I expect it to be in the month of November. I just don't have an exact date. Mr. Chair, that is my report, and be glad to answer any questions.
Buell Angle.
Michael, would you get with Eddie Barkley with county, and we're looking at a project for next year on 116th Street and Highway 75, widening a little one-lane bridge that comes right off that major interstate.
Okay.
I told him I'd ask you to get with him.
I'll give him a call.
I think there's maybe some environmental things there.
Okay. I will give him a call.
Sean?
Yeah. Mr. Lynn, Fog Hollow Road sound familiar?
It does not. Sorry.
Had someone early on mentioned that to me, and of course we were doing Oak Ridge, done a good job there. But I'm gonna do a little more digging on that. I just wanted to check to see if that sounded familiar.
That doesn't even ring a bell, but I may not know all the little roads over there,
Well,
but
it might not, be something that you even dealt with yet.
yeah, if it's something we need to talk about, give me a holler.
Thank you.
Bet.
Thank you.
Yes, the Coffee Holler Road, the one we just chip and seal, that was completed.
Yes.
I signed off on the invoice.
Yes, you did, yes.
Yeah. Check and see, I'm not making any commitments, but if we paved it, give me just a cost estimate, would you please? I think that's a mile.
If we pave it?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Let me do some checking and I'll get with you.
Thanks, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
You're welcome. Cimarron Transit, have you had a chance to talk to those folks?
We've been into some discussion with them, yes. I think the last time we talked about this, you had requested a meeting or sit down with Cimarron and Grand Gateway last month, and so, we haven't got that set up yet, but we are working on that. So
When I've called them, just as John Smith, and they weren't very helpful. I'm not saying they wouldn't do it, but didn't sound very encouraging.
Okay.
To transport somebody to a clinic or to St. Francis or something like that. And I'm wondering if you could kind of go back and figure out how they, had the city of Bartlesville, and then they switched with Pelivan, and Pelivan switched out of the county. I don't understand what happened without somebody getting me in the loop, because I could have told you right quick that was gonna be a problem. Not you, but them.
Sure.
And so I think we're in a situation I don't fully understand. So I'd like to,
Okay.
and thank you. Any other
Thank you.
questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you all.
Gary Cooper.
Good afternoon. Yes, ma'am. I think y'all have our report. I was trying to think if there was any big things. There's a couple of holidays coming up. Thanksgiving Day will be close. Cherokee Nation is close at the same time, too. Just to let you know, and then in December, we'll have a staff development day on December the 20th, so our offices will be closed then. But it's later on in the month, it'll be December 20th. It's one time of year that we get all of our employees together from all of the locations, give them a time to come together, train them, and then also do a lunch for them. So I think other than that, I think that's about all that I can think of off the top of my head. I know I'm missing something, but I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions? Harley? Wanda?
West Solomon Springs, Gary, there been any movement on that yet?
We are waiting to close on those, to purchase those properties.
Okay.
But we're already in the process. I think all the families are scheduled for their home buyers training, and we're moving along on our side in anticipation of that happening very soon. But I don't believe that I have a date certain yet, but I do know that what we had done was we made arrangements to schedule a room over at West Salem Springs to bring all the families in to do home buyers training. And I think that's taking place maybe Friday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we're working towards that. So whenever it does close and we actually take possession, families will be ready to go in.
Okay. Thanks, sir.
Councilwoman Hatfield.
Yes, sir. This list, okay, I don't think, I haven't asked this question before, but what is this list? This confidential, all the names, is that everybody that's in the housing program that needs rehab or housing?
I think that's.
Oh, that's not my list. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I think that's.
Oh, I'm sorry,
community service.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, okay, I forgive me.
Okay, no.
Okay.
You threw me for a loop.
I was like, thank you, I'm sorry, Chair.
If I could answer that, I'd answer it.
Yeah, I have it on the list. Okay, I'm sorry.
Is that it, Wanda?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Councilor Austin.
Gary,
Yes, sir.
the new enhanced rehab is what I'm calling it, that we passed in the new budget. Is that reflected in your reporting anywhere? Have we,
The special program?
you know,
Yeah, it doesn't go through my office, so I don't report it in my report.
okay, so where is it?
That's a Canaan job.
It's in executive branch. Canaan helps coordinate.
Okay. Okay, you know what I'm looking for, but any activity?
Okay, anyone else?
And we keep a good relationship with Canaan. Anytime they need information, we send it directly over to them. And I'm glad that you did mention rehab. That was the other thing I was going to bring up. Today, we started moving our housing rehab programs. It's a tedious task, but we've started it. They're moving from up here on the hill over to the offices we have directly behind where Rob Darby's group was, CCO. Rob's group and the other group have both moved and working on moving out. So we're working on bringing our staff down there, and whenever that gets done, our housing rehab staff, our housing contract staff, and our new home construction staff will all be right there located in one central area. So we look forward to that happening.
So you'll be down there too?
No, I'll still be downtown at the main housing authority office.
Okay. Mr. Britton.
Gary, what's our answer, like for new construction? I remember in the beginning, we were telling folks like 18 months if you had your own land. Is there?
That's still about average. It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to give an estimate, but I would say that would be fairly close to an average estimation. We're working on 300 at any given time. We have about 404 that we're working on right now.
And on another note, Gary, like the 1,700 slots for rental assistance.
1,500 slots.
1,500 slots. Yeah. When does that change? Is that just when someone moves?
Whenever someone moves out, it opens up a slot, so then we go to the waiting list.
And no more slots are ever added, right?
No.
Okay,
I mean, not without increased funding.
There's just, because I let you know, and that, wow, so many folks, their answer is waiting list. And it's tough. Of course, you explained, there's so many slots, and there you go. Were you able to check on Bushy Head and Hogner Heights and some of those empty units that?
And there's either families waiting to go into those, or they're being done. Right now, our vacancy rate on our low rent project is it hovers around 8 or 9%, which is really good for a program like that. As soon as one becomes available, we move someone else in. We have had an issue with a couple of apartments that have been used to cook something other than food. So we have to do a little bit more work to those and make them safe before we move someone in. But anytime we get one back, we get them ready to go just as quickly as we can, still maintaining the waiting list, date and order of application, and so forth. The one issue that we have a lot of times is folks that are transferring, and there's a couple of reasons that we allow transfers, such as medical reasons. Someone could potentially transfer if they have gotten employment in a different location and need to move from one location to another, or their family size has changed, has grown. They get first priority, so a lot of times they may choose a unit that just became vacant rather than one that's been vacant for 3 months.
Could be just about anything.
Yeah. There's just a number of things.
We talked, this might be more real estate, but it's the school I teach at, Greasy. There's quite a bit of tribal land there surrounding it. And Councilor Walkenstick brought it up a while back, and I know this is not an overnight deal, but wow, it looks like not only would some of that Indian land that's really not being used too much, housing additions, here comes some money for the schools. And
well, the one thing that I'll always remind folks of, that I'll caution folks on, that I've done for as long as we've been doing this, is I would strongly encourage not building homes on tribal or trust land. The only reason why is because you're asking someone to make a payment for 30 years and potentially not give the benefits of home ownership.
I'd like to.
We've had that issue come up.
Maybe they could come up with something where they could, because some of that land's not being used. Some of it's being farmed, some of it's not, and it's lots and lots of folks, and I'm sure everybody's areas, just don't have a place, and the sad situations they're in, and go see the housing authority, and waiting list, and
Yeah, and I mean, I can tell you, our waiting list is probably a lot less than what it's been, and I've been at the Housing Authority for almost 18 years. There's been a waiting list for, I think, virtually every program we've offered, and most of them at most times have been closed because there was just so many people on them, and there wasn't enough. There was no way potentially to be able to serve all the folks, and we have been able to keep virtually all of the waiting list open except for like the home ownership programs, the repo homes that we get back that were built with NAHAS or mutual help program dollars in the past. We keep about we take about 20 to 25 applications as we need them. Those people go on a waiting list, and then we use those to fill as units become open. That's the only waiting list that we don't keep open, that we allow people to get on. But other programs, especially over on the public housing side, their waiting list for rental programs for a Section 8 based program is usually isn't even opened because there is such a need there. But we have a limit on the amount of time that families can be on that waiting list, and we work with them during the time that they're on there to make sure that whenever their time runs out, that they have a way, and hopefully become self-sufficient, that they can pay the full amount of rent. But that does not apply for elderly, handicapped, or disabled folks. There is no time limit. Once they get on the program, they can stay on there indefinitely until they move out.
I had one straight shooter come to me and said, John, so as far as the new construction and the rehab catching up, their question was, what do you think's the biggest holdup? Is it money? Is it not enough contractors? What would be the answer? Just the holdup on, building houses, great, commended. Everyone should be commended, but there could be more. What would stop? What's the biggest obstacle? Money or not enough contractors?
Money's always the obstacle. Money's always going to be the obstacle.
Money.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Hey, Gary.
Got one question, Gary.
Yes, sir.
On contractors, once they get Terrell certified and stuff like that, do you guys contact them, or do they just need to search the website, or what?
Both. We all of any jobs that we have come up is posted on the Cherokee Nation on the Cherokee Nation website as well, the procurement website. So Housing Authority job, Cherokee Nation job, a CNB job, all of them are posted on that website. But also, if we're looking for, if something comes up, if there's a job that we bid out that we have only got one bid back on, or we can't find anyone to bid on it or whatever, and then a lot of times if it's in some place where we just know, a lot of times we don't get bids back on, we will turn to that tarot list. My staff, my purchasing staff had that tarot list handy. They turn to the tarot list and start calling folks. Say, hey, do you have an interest in this job?
Okay.
So either, but it's posted on the website. But we do reach out to folks too if we think that there's going to be a problem, or if we bid out jobs, because whenever a lot of the rehab jobs came over, there were several that had been bid out numerous times. 2 times is the most it should be done. But we depend and we use the tarot list a lot. Okay. And that's usually the first thing that I ask contractors whenever they call is, are you tarot certified? Because that does have an impact on them getting the job or not getting the job. Because sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't.
Well, this is a new tarot vendor, so I'm actually bringing him to the job fair and everything.
Okay. Yep. And that'll be fine. And also, if you want to shoot me his contact information, I'll give it to my folks as well. And kind of what he works in.
Yeah, he's a home builder.
Okay, yeah. Especially up in probably the area that you're talking about.
Collinsville, so.
That would be good, because a lot of times we don't have a lot of folks from the local area that bid on those jobs.
Thank you, Gary.
Yep.
Thanks, Chairman.
Okey-doke. Thank you, Gary.
Thank y'all.
Appreciate it.
Y'all have a happy Thanksgiving.
Thank
too.
you.
Hannah Knight, please. Didn't see you. Red nose out there.
You have a copy of our report. It's kind of sparse since it's the first month of the year, but I'm happy to answer any questions. I did want to report that the Home Buyers Fair turned out fairly well for our first time. We had about 80 people come to the Home Buyers Fair, which was good, and we had about 23 vendors, and we had people attending the workshops and pulling their credit reports. And so next spring we'll go to Pryor, and we'll probably hold another one in Tahlequah in the spring as well. The fall is not really home buying season. It starts in the spring and the summer. So other than that, I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Any questions? That was a good report.
Thank you.
Thank you. Nikki Baker.
Nothing new.
Afternoon.
Just Angel Tree, we're just working really hard on that. We've had approximately 1,700 children apply. CNB took approximately 800 last week. A couple of the hospital locations take 100 or two, and then we have the rest to buy for. So we're just working on that. We have a location that Behavioral Health loaned us this year to use that was vacant, so it saved us money and that we didn't have to pay to rent somewhere for a couple of months. So things are just business as usual, and like I said, with the Angel Project, that's what's keeping us busy right now.
Any questions? Janice?
I just want to know, this was the first year for the online application. How was that received?
Really well. It's gone really well.
Just curious.
Sure.
Seems like a good option to me.
Right, there was a few little, weeds
There
we had
always
to.
are.
Yeah, but it went well.
Okay.
So we're happy with it.
Thank you, that's all.
Anyone else?
Keep us posted on that Angel Tree, okay?
Okay, you bet. Thank you.
All right, old business, none pending. New business, none pending. Anybody have announcements? Next meeting's Monday, December 12th at 2 o'clock.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
All approved? Say aye.
Bet.